Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM with me, Answana Isonyase. Here are the main news headlines. On Monday, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, in collaboration with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, held their second regional Child Rights Forum in the Gambia. The Gambia Revenue Authority has engaged Kanifing municipality taxpayers ahead of its integrated tax administration system rollout as ATAF officials train GRA staff on VAT cross-border transactions. Now, in a bid to encourage wellness and foster collaboration, Bloom Bank Limited, in partnership with Polagel, held a Bloom Walk for Health to raise awareness of breast cancer. And the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, with World Bank support, has concluded a 5-day training on risk management for critical information infrastructure under the West Africa Digital Integration Program. And in international news, deadly clashes have erupted across Cameroon after opposition candidate Issa Chiroma Bakari declared victory before official results on Monday, 27 October 2025, confirmed incumbent Paul Biya's win. Stay tuned for more on these and other stories. And here's the news in detail. On Monday, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, in collaboration with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, held their second Regional Rights Forum in the Gambia. Mam Nabuka witnessed the opening ceremony and Sina reports.
The event, held under the Protection of Children Victims of Right Violations PAPEV project, to support the protection of child victims of right violations, and funded by the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, centered on strategies to enhance child welfare across the region. The forum is a follow-up to the Child's Rights Ministerial Forum held in the Gambia in 2022, which brought together ministers from the Gambia, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea-Conakry. The outcome of which was a roadmap detailing various commitments to safeguard and promote children's rights and enhance cross-border collaboration for the protection of children in countries benefiting from PAPEV. The second forum is an opportunity to review progress since the 2022 ministerial meeting, assess implementation of past recommendations, and address regional child protection challenges, including gender-based violence, early marriage, and cross-border mobility. Eugenia Pisani, the Program Officer for Gender and Human Rights at the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, and Honorable Hawaju Tunkara, Information Secretary for the Children's Assembly in Guinea-Conakry, shared that protecting children's rights is not only a moral imperative, but highly significant to achieving sustainable development and peace in the region.
Let us keep at heart our ultimate goal, that every child grows up free from violence and fear, with the opportunity to thrive in dignity and equality.
Des enfants réintégrés dans leur famille.
Every child deserves equitable access to education and the right to grow up in a safe environment that respects their dignity. By investing in our children, we invest in the peace, justice, and future of our generation. And that should begin with us here now.
Halimatu Diba, a commissioner at the National Human Rights Commission, and Aminata Kebe, the PAPEV regional coordinator, expressed optimism that efforts will help close gaps in protecting children in the Gambia and beyond from human rights violations linked to socio-cultural norms.
To address exploitation or trafficking as a transnational organized crime, we need effective collaboration in referral pathways and reporting channels, both at national and regional levels.
Le comité de pilotage du PAPEV.
As PAPEV, we place great hope in the outcomes of this gathering and reaffirm our commitment to taking all necessary actions for the effective realization of children's rights everywhere.
Here is Fatou Kinte, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare.
Let us be reminded that we are not here to simply deliver speeches. We are here to deliver on a promise that we have already made. We are here for the child who seeks safety, for the girl who dreams of an education, for the boy who deserves justice.
Over the next 3 days, participants will discuss key topics to advance child rights in the region, share best practices, and identify priority actions for PAPIV member states to strengthen policies and institutional frameworks for child welfare. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
Now, as part of efforts to sensitize taxpayers in anticipation of the implementation of the Integrated Tax Administration System, the Gambia Revenue Authority on Monday held an engagement with taxpayers based in the Kanifing municipality. As we hear in this report, the authority also received African Tax Administration Forum officials who are in the country to train GRA staff on value-added tax cross-border transactions. Today's engagement follows the recent contract signing with Tunisia-based ArabSoft Consortium to implement the ITA system that will give taxpayers seamless access to GRA services through automated systems. Deputy Commissioner General Esa Jallo and Samba Sala, the Integrated Tax Administration System Project Manager, say that once fully rolled out, the ITAs will greatly improve accountability and transparency in tax administration, and they implore taxpayers to familiarize themselves with the new system once introduced.
Gone are the days when most of the things that you need to do, you will have to be physically present at the GRA to be able to conduct your business. Most of you will agree with me that your day-to-day experiences with GRA can be improved, can be enhanced, so that, you know, from the level of GRA, we'll be able to introduce a lot of efficiency in our systems.
The purpose of having a new system is to improve the tax administration processes and make it more user-friendly to taxpayers and also to GRA staff. The purpose is also to improve transparency and accountability in the administration of taxation.
Meanwhile, as the authority embraces a fully digitalized tax administration system, ATAF officials are in the country upon the invitation of the GRA to train its staff and other key stakeholders on value-added tax on cross-border transactions, with a particular focus on digital transactions. Here is Deputy Commissioner General Esa Jallo, Nasin Omandi, ATAF Acting Manager, and Abu Salah, GRA's ATAF Correspondent, on the need for improved capacity building for tax administrators on cross-border transactions to ensure fair, efficient, and effective taxation.
ATAF's decision to step in and provide technical assistance in the area of VAT in cross-border transactions is both welcome and timely. It aligns perfectly with our institutional goals. VAT contributes significantly towards both the domestic taxes and international trade revenues of GRA. And the statistics you quoted mirror what we also report as VAT contribution.
Develop best practices that countries then pick on and also implement. I think one of the most recent best practices is on VAT on cross-border services that we are currently going to look at. There's also best practice around significant economic presence tax, digital service tax, transfer pricing, including transfer pricing for natural resources, the extractive sectors, and also commodities.
This technical assistance mission therefore comes at a critical time. It provides an opportunity for our staff to deepen their understanding of VAT applications across borders, strengthen compliance mechanisms, and improve efficiency in revenue collection.
As they engage stakeholders on the implementation of the ITAs and the need to enhance staff capacity, GRA officials emphasize that embracing a fully digitalized tax administration system will help drive effective and sustainable tax reforms, facilitate fair taxation of the digital economy, and improve taxpayer compliance. Ansmane Sonyasi for QTV News. Now, in a bid to encourage wellness and foster collaboration, Bloom Bank Limited, in partnership with Bolagel, held a Bloom Walk for Health to raise awareness of breast cancer. This program promotes healthy living while strengthening institutional relationships. Aisha Dubari joined the work, and this is her report.
Organized in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October, frequently referred to as Pink October. The Bloom Walk for Health promotes health consciousness, encourages physical fitness,
and raises awareness of early detection and prevention, and to foster unity between Bloombank Limited and Bologel Limited. The work commenced at Bloombank's Westfield branch, proceeded to the head office on Caraba Avenue, and concluded back at the Westfield branch. Safia Tusane, head of risk management at Bloombank Limited, provided further insights into the Bloom Work for Health initiative.
And we organize this work by inviting our staff and our customers, who are the most valuable stakeholders that we have as an institution, to create awareness of breast cancer and also at the same time work for health, because we're talking about financial industry and it's all about resilience, about the things that we can do in the future. And without health, because the health is your strength as an individual, without that we are unable to serve and we're unable to sustain the growth that we're looking for as an institution.
Makali, Administrative Director of Bologel Limited, urged stakeholders to actively support the fight against cancer.
So pour break cancer bi nak mom lolou dafa nek dafa wër aduna bi. So doomu adama bu nek war nga mëna taxaw pour jappalé sa nguur.
Cancer is a globally prevalent disease. That is why every individual should be able to support their government in making sure the treatment is available, because it is expensive and not everyone can afford it. That is why we are doing what we can to support in our own way.
Elizabeth Habib, head of international operations at Bloombank Limited, shared important breast cancer advice for young women.
I would encourage each and every young lady to basically get themselves tested as frequently as possible, and most especially in the month of October. You could go to any hospital. There are a lot of free screenings available whereby ladies can get themselves tested. They say early detection saves lives. Early detection would basically give you a chance at life.
As part of today's activities, a friendly football match between staff of Bloombank Limited and Bologel Company Limited will be held at the FIFA Goal Project in Old Yundum. The match provides an opportunity to highlight teamwork, wellness, community engagement, and strengthen the partnership between the two organizations. The Bloom Work for Health successfully united participants in promoting wellness, raising cancer awareness, and encouraging early detection, while reinforcing collaboration between Bloombank Limited and Bologel Limited, inspiring communities to prioritize health and support one another. Aisa Tubari, QTV News.
And a report there by Aisa Tubari will lead us to the commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Biggest network with the cheapest tariff in the Gambia, and enjoy crystal clear calls and super fast internet at the cheapest tariff, only with QCell. Rush now and grab your free QCell SIM card today from any of our care centers near you. QCell, the biggest network with the cheapest tariff. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25 Cs. Yes! Recharge $25 Cs and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 Cs today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that commercial break. Now, the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, with support from the World Bank through the Western Africa Regional Digital Integration Program, has concluded a 5-day training program on risk management for critical information infrastructure. The aim is to strengthen participants' capacity to identify, assess, and mitigate risk affecting the nation's key digital systems. Yafatu Gay tells us more.
The training strengthens institutional capacity to identify, assess, and mitigate risk to the Gambia's essential digital systems. It also focused on creating a national risk register, developing registry frameworks, and promoting continuous risk assessment across sectors. Key steps towards achieving digital sovereignty, economic resilience, and public trust in the nation's digital transformation. Speaking at the closing ceremony, officials emphasized the critical need for proactive cybersecurity governance. Dr. Sanusi Drame, Director of Cybersecurity, and Mamadou El Kinte, Principal Cybersecurity Officer at the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, highlighted the importance of risk management in safeguarding customer data and maintaining trust in digital services. They stressed that as more public and private institutions move towards operations online, strong risk management practices are essential to prevent data breaches, ensure service reliability, and protect citizens' confidence in the Gambia's expanding digital economy. Over 25 senior representatives from key national institutions participated in the training, exchanging insights and strategies to enhance risk management frameworks across critical sectors such as finance, energy, communications, and public administration. Participant Musa Ndour reflected on the training, describing it as highly informative and practical. He noted that the sessions enhanced his understanding of cybersecurity, particularly in identifying and managing potential risk, and provided new strategies and best practices to strengthen his organization's cybersecurity measures. The training emphasized the vital role of cybersecurity in safeguarding customer data, ensuring reliable digital services, and fostering public trust. Robust cybersecurity measures help prevent service disruptions, ensure regulatory compliance, and enable citizens to engage confidently in online transactions, thereby promoting economic growth and innovation. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatugay.
Now on Thursday, the January 2024 intake of the Gambia College School of Nursing and Midwifery conducted a sensitization program using psychodrama to raise awareness of various psychiatric conditions. Yafatugay again.
The presentation held in Banjul was part of the students' continuous assessment, with marks from the dramatizations contributing to their final module grades. Through these creative performances, students showcased their understanding of mental health concepts while promoting community awareness. January intake Rokia Conte reflected on the drama presentations, highlighting the significance of raising awareness about mental health issues.
This is a learning purpose, but we hope that it's going to create awareness, because like someone might know like PTSD, yes, it's a mental health condition, but you might not know certain signs and symptoms of it, or maybe you are having confusing thoughts of the signs and symptoms. But when you look at how we're going to do it, some of the signs and symptoms we are going to manifest on the stage and how we're going to take things, you'll be like, oh, I was thinking about this, but this is how it is. Or if I see certain signs and symptoms in this patient, I will not just jump to conclusion, but I have to read. Because in PTSD, reading the body language is also very important, because people take traumas differently.
Class coordinator Wia Haidara emphasized the curriculum's role in equipping students for their future responsibilities as healthcare providers.
Sometimes we have patients who are having medical conditions and a mental condition. So if you are a nurse, you have to identify at least all these conditions in a patient, not only medical cases. So if your patient is having a mental condition plus medical, you can take care of the medical and the mental as well. And you refer to the necessary places where they can handle the mental cases.
Lamaranaba, a mental health and psychological support officer, discussed various mental health conditions.
You know, in the Gambian setup, conditions such as depressions, anxiety disorders, and even a minor part of trauma are not seen as an issue, because in the Gambia, if you don't start breaking the windows or the car's power or putting fire into the house, you are not taken serious as a mental health patient. But then people are living with conditions like depression, and sometimes people even think that these people are at least pompous. It's not that because of they have an issue, but they are pompous or they don't want even to talk to people. But because of that problem is the one that is affecting them.
The event was timely, coinciding with Mental Health Awareness Month, a global campaign aimed at promoting understanding and challenging misconceptions about mental health illness. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatu Gay.
And a report there by Yafatu Gay will lead us to international news in a moment. Now, deadly clashes have erupted across Cameroon after opposition candidate Issa Chiroma Bakari declared victory even before the official results are announced. Now, when the results were announced on Monday, 27 October 2025, they declared incumbent Paul Biya the winner. Chiroma had urged his supporters onto the streets to demand President Paul Biya, the world's oldest-serving ruler, step aside after over 43 years in power. Alusise reports.
I call on all Cameroonians to come out in massive numbers in every city, every village, every neighborhood across Cameroon and throughout the diaspora.
That was Issa Chiroma Bakari on Friday calling on Cameroonians to show their displeasure at what he claimed was an attempt to steal the election. In response, and on the eve of the official announcement of the results by the Constitutional Court, opposition supporters had taken to the streets. Local reports indicated that at least 4 people have been killed as protests spread to major cities. Security forces fired tear gas and water cannon at crowds backing Issa Chiroma, who has declared himself winner and urged protest.
From the polling station and verifying the representation on the ground, it is obvious that we have secured a landslide victory surpassing 50% of the ballot cast.
Opposition leaders have alleged that around 30 politicians and activists have been arrested in connection with the demonstration. The Cameroonian government has dismissed allegations of electoral irregularities and appealed for calm as the final results are being processed. In a statement on Sunday, Chiroma's team of lawyers condemned the use of live ammunition by defense and security forces against protesters, describing it as a blatant violation of the Constitution and international human rights conventions. The group also condemned the silence of the international community and called on the African Union and wider international community to urgently intervene. President Paul Biya's ruling party dismissed Chiroma's claim, arguing only the Constitutional Council can proclaim official results. Analysts believe the delay in releasing the results fueled fears of fraud in favor of President Paul Biya, who has ruled Cameroon since 1982. However, others have noted that such a timeline is not unusual for Cameroonian presidential elections. Africa and the world wait to see if there will be a legal or other challenge to the results. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alusise.
Now, also in international news, for many in Gaza, the ceasefire has brought calm but not comfort. Aid continues to arrive on paper but rarely in reality. Despite the ceasefire's implementation, food and medical supplies remain far below the level required. Usman Jatta reports from Beijing, China.
Central Gaza, tens and damaged homes remain overcrowded with displaced families. Despite a period of relative calm, hunger and shortages continue to shape their daily lives. Although aid trucks arrive daily through southern crossings, much of this relief fails to reach central Gaza, where thousands continue to endure severe shortages of food. Mohammed Wadi, a displaced Palestinian, explains.
Only a few trucks enter despite the huge needs. We've experienced starvation, and what arrives now is very limited. Why not open the crossings and let food, gas, and flour in freely?
As winter approaches, the challenges grow for displaced families. Survivors of the bombardment are now fighting a new battle for survival. Abdel Nasir Mosleh is another displaced Palestinian.
We need so much electricity, fuel, water, even tents and blankets for the winter. Food and clean water are also still missing.
Hospitals across Gaza are also in deep crisis. At Al-Aqsa Hospital, Doctors report that nearly 1,000 cancer patients and 41% of kidney patients have died during the war due to travel bans and severe drug shortages. Dr. Khalil Al-Dakran is the spokesperson for the Al-Aqsa Hospital.
Since the war began, Israel has targeted the health system, forcing many hospitals to shut down. Even after ceasefire, proper medical aid hasn't been allowed in. What has arrived is barely a drop in the ozone.
For those waiting urgent surgeries, a day without treatment brings them closer to death. Muhammad Abdullah's son urgently needs treatment.
There are no resources here, and my son's condition is worsening every day. I just want him to receive treatment or be allowed to travel abroad for care.
The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees has warned that any further delay in allowing humanitarian aid into Gaza will cost more lives. Osman Jatta, QTV News, Beijing, China.
And I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap from me and headlines. On Monday, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, in collaboration with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, held their second regional Child Rights Forum in the Gambia. The Gambia Revenue Authority has engaged Kanifing municipality taxpayers ahead of its integrated tax administration system rollout as ATAF officials train GRA staff on VAT cross-border transactions. In a bid to encourage wellness and foster collaboration, Bloombank Limited, in partnership with Bologel, held a Bloom Walk for Health to raise awareness of breast cancer. The Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, with support from the World Bank, has concluded a 5-day training on risk management for critical information infrastructure under the West Africa Digital Integration Program, And in international news, deadly clashes have erupted across Cameroon after opposition candidate Issa Chiroma Bakari declared victory before official results on Monday, 27 October 2025, confirmed incumbent Paul Biya's win. That's it for this bulletin. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.